Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 9, Chapter 15. The Achaarya as God. This day, Guru Paurnami, is celebrated by people as Thanksgiving Day for their spiritual preceptors, those who initiated them into spiritual disciplines, mantra recitals, meditation, japa, and the study of sacred texts. We have a popular saying, without a preceptor, all learning is blind. But this refers to authentic gurus, those who have the double qualification of gu and ru. Gu meaning devoid of gunas, and ru meaning devoid of rupa, that is to say, those who have transcended form and flavor, those who have merged in God or the Atma itself. It is only these who can help you to attain. The Vedas declare that the mother, the father, and the Acharya, preceptor, have to be treated as God. The mother brings forth and trains the emotions and intelligence, and fosters and feeds the body during the critical first few years of life. The father protects and guides and supports until the child is able to fend for itself. The Acharya opens the inner eye. He shows the way for joy and happiness here and hereafter. So the responsibility of the Guru is overwhelming. Today, we have gurus who scheme for earning riches and status. Their minds are poisoned by the fumes of egoism and greed. They cause even the faithful to desert the path of discipline which they have entered. Others have vast learning, and consequently they suffer from swelled head, and the infection of competition will not accept such men as his favorites. You may put in an envelope a letter written in exceptionally beautiful style, containing precious sentiments and decorated with charming drawings. But unless you fix a 20 paisa stamp, it cannot reach the person whom you address. On the other hand, the paper may be crumbled and cheap, the sentiments may be commonplace, the style may be poor. But fix the stamp, it reaches the destination. What is essential is the yearning, the anguish. If that is evident, the prayer will reach God. Eternal vigilance is the price of peace. Every object in nature, every incident in time is, really speaking, teaching you a lesson, as the postal stamp does. Dakshinamurti was one morning walking in slow steps along the sea beach. He looked at the waves and drew a lesson therefrom. He saw the waves slowly but systematically, carrying towards the shore a bit of straw, passing it on from one crest to another, until it was deposited on land. The sea is a broad expanse. It is deep and mighty, but yet it is constantly engaged in clearing itself from all extraneous things. It knows that you must not neglect a desire for the reason that it is a straw. Force it back onto the shore, where it can do no harm. Eternal vigilance is the price of peace and happiness. Dakshinamurti exclaimed, "Wonderful! The sea has taught me a great lesson, the lesson that danger lurks when desire raises its head." Take the example of Sita. She was the daughter of the greatest jnani and philosopher of the age, Janaka. She was the consort of the Lord, her father-in-law, the mighty emperor Dasharatha. Nevertheless, when her lord was exiled and sent into the forest for 14 years, She gave up all her luxuries to which she had become accustomed and insisted on being taken by him into the same forest as his companion. What tremendous detachment! What admirable adherence to the dictates of morality! But when she saw in the woods a golden deer, desire entered her heart, and as a result, she had to suffer the agony of separation from her Lord. That is the tragedy of desire arising from the senses and the mind. He who instructs you to give up desire is the real Guru. Keep the heart cool, pure, soft as the moonlight. Each religion emphasizes one name and one form of God and recommends them for acceptance. Some even insist that God has no other name or form, but the reality is beyond name and form. Akshara, the indestructible, eternal, as the characteristic, and Om as the form. You reach the Akshara stage, the stage of attributeless unity, in 3 steps of sadhana. 1. I am thine. 2. Thou art mine. And 3. Thou art myself. Through sadhana, one must transcend the duality of I and you. I is only the reflection of you in this body. The consummation is reached when duality is superseded. That is why it has been declared it is good to be born in a church, but it is not good to die in it. That is to say, before life ends, one must go beyond the limits set by institutionalized religion and reach the vast, limitless expanse of the Atma, which pervades all. The judge from Calcutta said just now in his speech, the head is of no help in this sadhana. The heart must win the goal. Ram Das used to write on palm leaves hundreds of songs on his favorite deity, Rama. The leaves accumulated into a gigantic pile. One day, Ram Das stood by its side and wondered, am I the fellow who wrote all this? Did I write them for my satisfaction or for pleasing Rama? He carried the whole pile and threw them into the Godavari river. Only 108 songs floated above the waters. The rest sank and were lost forever. Those 108 came forth from the heart. The rest were products of intelligence, cleverness. They rose from the head. God does not reside in the head. He is Hridaya Nivasi, the dweller in the heart. Keep the heart cool, pure, and soft as the moonlight is on this day, the Guru Purnima day. For this, your mind has to be cleansed by the mind only, just as you shape an iron sickle or axe with an iron hammer. The mind is the shaper and the shaped, both. The power behind the mind which helps to shape it well is faith in God. That is why it is declared that one must have faith in God, holy places, the scriptures, the mantras. They are the soothsayer, the drug, and the teacher. Cultivate that faith, and everything else will be added onto you. Prashanti Nilayam, July 29th, 1969. Our failures and disappointments, our setbacks and our problems need not retard our progress. If only we use the obstacles as stepping stones and not as stopping stones. The man worthwhile is the man who can smile when everything goes dead wrong. Sri Sathya Sai Baba.